let's see it. I want to see this paycheck. Let me see this. Oh, what's that say? What's that say?
$6,757.90.
And that's the biggest paycheck you've gotten in your whole life, right?
So far, yeah.
Let's go, baby! Hop in the Porsche. Hey, everyone. So this is the first week of my vlog series. Honestly, I'm gonna have weekly vlogs hitting YouTube from now on. And what the vlogs are going to be is, I just want to document my journey. I want to document what I'm doing. I want to document my wins, my losses, my successes, and my failures. Because I want to have this in 5, 10, you know, even beyond that, years from now. I want to be able to have this kind of as a reference point to what my journey was like getting to where I'm going. Because I've got pretty big goals, and you know, I'm working on achieving them, and you know, I'd like to be able to show people how I get to where I'm going, and you know, this is how I'm gonna do it. Weekly vlogs. So there's gonna be little snippets that, you know, these are likely gonna be a combination of, you know, different snippets of videos throughout the week, because I just got myself a new action camera that I'm using right now, and it's phenomenal because I can carry it in my pocket. But I mean, you guys can see the quality. I just love this thing. It's like a TV camera in my pocket, except it's not. This isn't TV, thankfully, because I'm not a big fan of TV per se. But anyway, guys, check out the content that follows here. It's the first week of July 2018. That's where we're starting this series off. And as you can see, I've had my YouTube channel almost 10 years now. Sadly, I've done very little with it, and that's got to change. This is something that, you know, if I knew what I knew now 10 years ago, I would have been doing this 10 years ago, but I wasn't a producer 10 years ago. I was only a consumer, unfortunately. So we're flipping the table here, and now I'm a YouTube producer. Yeah, man, I'm just trying to get to 0 to 60 quicker. That's about all there is to it. So I've got to give a huge shout out to my man Samuel Scher. Samuel is a newer real estate agent. He's been licensed in the business less than a year. I actually believe it's been about a year at this point. And the reason for the shout out is my man Samuel just closed his first deal, man, and I'm so stoked because I know he was leaning on me for so much for so long, and we finally got him to the point where he's at the closing table for his client. He took phenomenal care of his client. In fact, he sold this home, I believe it was in a week. It might have been in less than a week. He had a full price offer on this house he sold, and the previous agent had failed to sell it. You know, had a lot of time to do it and didn't do the job. I helped Samuel, you know, with, you know, how to actually sell a home that he lists. So, you know, showed him the whole process, showed him how to do the presentation and everything, and it worked phenomenally. He got his first deal done, but it took a lot of plugging away to do that. You know, lots of trials, lots of tests. I think Sam was really getting tested. You know, I could see God asking him, man, how bad do you want this? How bad do you really want this? Are you really willing to stick it out and give it what it takes? You know, because he had several clients, you know, several situations where it just seemed like you kept hitting brick walls, but this client finally stuck, and I know this is the first of many, many, many deals that Samuel is going to do. So shout out, my man. I see your greatness in the making here. I've seen you come such a long way in a short period of time, man, and I couldn't be more excited. I don't get this excited when I close anything. Motorsport, put that thing in sport. Pop it like a cork. Use a torque. I never been a sport. I just realized that I need to document this because this is a 1-year anniversary that I've had my baby here, my Corvette Z06. And it also just occurred to me that this is the 3rd time I've ever driven it in the rain, ever. The first time was the day I got it. It was raining a little bit in Denver, or not Denver, Colorado in general was raining a little bit. Second time was a complete accident. I had no idea it was going to rain at all, and it rained a little bit. Today though, I was pretty well aware of it, and you know, I just decided to say, it's the 4th of July, and I wanted to celebrate Independence Day by driving the most American thing I have, and that's this Corvette. So I was well aware that it was going to storm, and it was actually a crazy downfall. So yeah, here I am driving my Corvette Z06 in the pouring rain, and it's actually lightened up a lot right now compared to earlier. It was crazy earlier, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was way crazy. We had to slow down so that we didn't hydroplane or have any worries like that. Shifting gears. So I suppose it would be good if I made a more formal introduction. Well, my name's Tyler Royke, and this is my vlog. So I'm going to get into right now, since it's the first one, I just want to share a little bit more about what I'm working on right now, and kind of what excites me and what gets me going. So really there's 5 components of, really comprise everything that I am working on right now. And first component is real estate sales, which is, as you can imagine, helping people with selling and purchasing an on-market property. So I'm a real estate agent. I've been licensed 3 years, and ever since I made my first sale, my business has been growing. But I'm currently working to step out of the day-to-day sales grind and put it on autopilot by plugging the right team of people into place who I can refer my inbound business to. And that will allow me to leverage my time at the end of the day. So I'm not necessarily talking about a team in the conventional sense. All I really want is to have people in place to service leads that I generate. And it will work more like a referral structure than an actual formal team structure. The next part of what I'm working on is non-sales revenue. So that consists of leveraging existing systems to create multiple streams of income in my real estate sales business. So I'm not talking about income coming in from gross commission income. I'm talking about income coming in from other sources, income that's not coming in as a result of me directly helping someone purchase a house. So the third component of what I'm working on is real estate investments. I'm actually working really hard, making a push to get into the investment side of the business right now, and that's basically leveraging my expertise and everything I've learned about real estate from working in the industry the past 3 years to step into the investment game to source off-market properties. And these are opportunities that can make good investment deals if you go after them. So I'm basically going from a point where I'm only working with clients who are hiring me to where I'm hiring myself to go find myself these opportunities. So it's pretty exciting. So the fourth component of what I'm working on right now are stock investments. So those are investments in publicly traded companies. I don't have a very wide-ranging portfolio right now because I'm spending a very, very limited amount of time on this at this point. But I do love the stock market, and so that really just consists of leveraging my capital, money that I've earned helping people buy and sell real estate, using some of that to invest in publicly traded companies that I believe have a sustainable model that's growing and really just a high level of growth. Those are the kind of companies that I like. And then the last component of what I'm working on right now is just, I could really sum it up with one word, and that's duplication. And that really consists of showing others how to get started in real estate as an agent and how to leverage their time, their systems, expertise, and capital to make the most of their lives, which, you know, it's basically everything else I'm doing wrapped into one thing there, which is, you know, me making an effort of time and energy to duplicate myself and others. And right now, really, that consists of there's a handful of new, recently licensed agents who I've been, you know, kind of guiding through the process. Anywhere from showing them how to even get started getting their real estate license to even how to close their first deal. I'm very much interested in connecting with anyone who might be watching this right now who is looking at real estate as an industry they're curious about getting into. You know, whether that's from an agent's perspective or an investor's perspective, but, you know, especially from an agent's perspective, I would be interested in hearing from you. So drop me a message or a comment or something, and just, you know, let me know what you're looking at with it. You know, I want to get into why video. Why am I doing video now? You know, I've started to build a little bit of a presence on social media, and I've had a YouTube account for a while now. I'm no new member as far as that goes, but very limited as to what I've done from a producer's perspective and actually creating content. And I'm going from a point where I was doing that, you know, basically just watching other people's content, to where I'm planning to produce content on a weekly basis. And that's probably an understatement, because I'm actually looking to do more than just a weekly vlog. There's other content I'm going to be putting out there in addition to that. So really my objective with it is I want to document my journey on video, and I want to create a personal brand for myself, and I want to build a network. I want to build a strong network, and I have done that up to this point, but I want to continue to do that and use video as a means that I can connect with more people, you know, people who appreciate the material I'll be putting out, and, you know, people I can connect with in the future. So that's really why I'm going with video going forward, is a big avenue that I can do those things. And last point I'll cover in this video before we end here is I'd like to share some of my long-term goals with you guys, because, as I said, part of why I'm doing this is to document my journey. And, you know, so a lot of what I'm showing is just steps in my life, things I face and go through that are part of that journey. So where's the journey going? That's the question. Well, here's the long-term goals I've got at this point in my life. You know, I've thought this out a lot, but, you know, first one is I want to marry my dream girl. And it's funny, I actually asked her to marry me real recently, about a week ago, and she said yes. So that is on the schedule. It's very, very happy about that. It had been a long time, you know, long time building up to that point. It's not something that just happened, so don't make that assumption just because you're watching this video and I just said it just happened. That's as far from the case as could be possible. So anyway, the next point, the next long-term goal I have is I want to travel the world, and specifically I'd like to get to a point in the not too distant future. So I'm not talking about 30 years from now. I'm talking about, you know, within 5 years, ideally, I want to get to the point where I'm traveling quarterly for a week at a time. I want a full week wherever I'm going every quarter. I want to be able to do that with, you know, with my future wife, ideally, and just make it a consistent thing. Because I feel like if there's 4 trips like that a year, that's going to allow us to see pretty much the whole world as we would want to. So to me, it's very important to be able to take more than one vacation a year, because it doesn't really seem as practical to see the whole world if we're only counting on one time a year to do that. And then the next thing is, you know, I want to own a big home in the hill country. You know, specifically, I have the size of home I want. You know, some of the features I want it to have. You know, I want a home that has a capability of housing 12 cars. So a 12-car garage, or a garage with the capability of housing 12 cars. Doesn't necessarily have to be a 12-car garage, but that's a big one for me because I love cars, and I want to have plenty of space for a collection of cars in the future. And I want to be able to have, just with the size of house and number of cars and stuff, I want to be able to have a personal part-time staff, you know, someone for cleaning, someone for detailing the cars, and, you know, even someone for cooking, you know, assuming it's not something that my future wife and I would like to do all the time. Just have someone to help us with that and prepare good, healthy meals for us. I'd like that. And fifth goal I've got is I want to own and race a Ferrari race car. And particularly, I would like to have the financial ability to race in the Ferrari Challenge for one season, just to experience that. So I'd like to be able to train with some top-notch drivers and, you know, be able to learn their methods of driving. That way I can actually give it a good run with competition. I'd like to do that at least once. It's kind of my dream to be a race car driver, and Ferrari's my favorite brand of car, and race car as well, you know, pretty much as long as I can remember. Even before I knew what Ferraris were, I knew I liked them, so that's a big deal to me. And then getting on to the last three here, I love the stock market, I love real estate, and pretty much everything I'm working on now is with real estate for the most part, a little bit with stocks like I mentioned. But, you know, to me, looking forward, it's like, how do I measure if I'm successful with those things? And, you know, obviously you wouldn't measure it on one, well, in my perspective, you wouldn't measure it on like one deal or one trade. But the reason for these next two goals is, it's not about a deal, it's not about one thing. What it's about is, it's about the level I'll have to be operating at in order to achieve these goals. So it's not a one-time thing. It's not like a, you know, one thing is changing my life. It's more like, okay, this is the level I'm operating at to make it possible. So with that being said, I would like to earn 7 figures on a single real estate transaction, a real estate deal. That's one of my goals. And the next goal is I want to earn 7 figures on a single stock trade, a single trade in shares of a publicly traded company, or options, or some combination of the both. But that's a big goal of mine too, which, you know, both those items, they're not necessarily trades, they're more like investments that in order for something like that to happen. But I just want to be operating at a level to where numbers like that are something that I can accomplish. Getting on to the last goal, and probably arguably tied for the most important one, is I want to grow to be a healthy, wealthy, and wise old man. And that pretty much sums up my long-term goals and everything I'm working for. And bottom line is, this is the reason I'm doing this vlog. I want to thank you guys for watching. If you actually watched all the way through, much love to you. You know, I really appreciate you spending the time. And if you enjoyed the content, or if you're intrigued in following me along on my journey that I've got ahead of me here, please, if you could like this video, I'd very much appreciate it. If you could hit the subscribe button to see future videos. I promise they're going to be much shorter than this for the most part. So, again, guys, I can't thank you enough for tuning into my journey. But I'll catch you guys on the next video, and I'm out for now.